Russia has broken its silence in the dispute between the United States and India over the Russian oil imports. On Tuesday, the Kremlin said New Delhi is free to choose its own trade partners. Kremlin Press Secretary Dmitry Peskov called President Trump's threats as attempts to force countries to stop trade relations with Russia. He added that such statements are not legitimate. We believe that sovereign countries have the right to choose their partners in trade and economic cooperation. The spat began last week when President Trump threatened to raise the US tariffs on Indian goods. He accused India of buying discounted Russian oil and selling it for big profits. Trump did not specify how high the new tariffs would be. He also warned of an additional penalty if India keeps importing Russian crude. India responded swiftly. The Ministry of External Affairs called the US position hypocritical. It pointed out that many Western nations continue to trade with Russia. Unlike our case, such trade is not even a vital national compulsion for them, the ministry said. India and Russia's oil trade has grown sharply since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022. Before the war, India imported about 100,000 barrels per day. That was just 2.5% of its total oil imports. By 2023, India was buying over 1.8 million barrels per day, 39% of its imports. Western nations have imposed sanctions on Russian oil to cut off revenue for the war effort. But India and China have continued to buy discounted crude. They say their economies depend on affordable energy. Analysts say the US-India dispute will affect global markets. Higher tariffs could drive up costs for Indian manufacturers. It could also strain the strategic partnership between Washington and New Delhi. Observers note that the timing is sensitive. India is seeking closer ties with the US on defense and technology. At the same time, it wants to keep energy supplies stable and affordable. For now, the standoff remains unresolved. India insists on its right to choose where it buys oil. The United States insists on using trade policy to punish Moscow. Russia, meanwhile, has made clear it backs India's choice and will continue to sell oil to the willing buyers.